keep forgetting to do my September reviews slash favorites, but basically I've read all these books and they were amazing. The first book that I have that is very colorfully tabbed is by Krista Black. God Loves Ugly and Love Makes Beautiful, and it is beautiful and wonderful and whatnot. It's kind of autobiographical slash self-help-ish. She has gone through quite a bit of stuff in her life as far as sexual assaults and eating disorders and depression and things like that. And she's gone through it. And she's gotten through it. She is coming from quite a Christian perspective, but also the fact that you have to be willing to heal from your past and heal from, you know, things that have happened to you. And that's the thing that I had to think about when I was reading it, because when I first bought this book, I was like, oh, I'm gonna read it because I think she has an awesome message and I want to support it. And then recently I was like, I'm gonna read this kind of as my devotional, and then a couple weeks ago I was like, I just need to finish this because it's just so good. I also read and reviewed The Iron Trial, so links below to see that full review. But basically, if you want a little rundown, this is a middle grade fantasy by Cassandra Clare and Holly Black. And this is the arc, so that's the actual cover there. Basically, it's about this kid who doesn't know that he's magic, or, well, no, yeah, he knows his parents knew magic and things, and that he's going into the magisterium, which is kind of like Hogwarts but different because it's in a cave and whatnot. And there's this whole like who is not necessarily who's good and who's evil, but you know, you're trying to figure out how the bad guy is gonna get into the school and stuff like that, because there's something out there that they fear and they don't know what's gonna happen. And so this guy, the main character, and his friends, they trying to make it through. They adopt a wild animal some way through this craziness, and it's good. It's good, it's fun, and if you have a middle grader in your life, or you like to read middle grade novels and lots of fun whimsical stuff, this is your jam. The fun part of doing these videos is trying to figure out which order you read these books in. I know it doesn't really matter as long as I show you all the books that I read and, you know, stuff, but I get a little whatever about it. But the next book is Everything Leads to You by Nina LaCour, and oh my goodness, like I said, this is a good reading month for me. This book is a contemporary fiction, and it is about this girl who, it's her summer after high school, graduating high school, and she is a production assistant, or no, she's a production designer, intern kind of person. Basically, she's living in Hollywood. Her parents are film kind of buffs and professors. Her brother's into the movie industry, and so it's just kind of natural for her to kind of get into it. And she and her best friend have been left her brother's apartment for the summer, and he tells them, hey, do something epic here. I'm gonna let you stay here for free, but do something awesome. And so there's a whole story that just unfolds from there that is quite good, just so good. Basically, they go to an estate sale where it's kind of, who is this actor would be compared to? I'm trying to think of his name and I can't think of his name right now. But basically, it's this actor who is a big Western actor, and it's a fictionalized version of this person, and they're like, hey, we found this letter in this album, and they go find the lady and to find out that she had died and her daughter is alive, so they go track down the daughter, and again, the story unfolds from there. I know the story unfolds from a couple different places, but it's really good. It's really good. It's wonderful and lovely and everything. There's a little bit of romance in there, and it's adorable. It is so adorable. I love it. Love it, love it, love it, love it. It's so good. I had to read this for book club, but also Penguin was kind enough to send me a copy a while back. This book is fantastic. I know, I've said again and again, this month was so good. Actually, did I read it? I can't remember when I read this. I can't remember if I read this in September or October, but basically, this is The Bells Are by Meg Wolitzer, and it is about this girl who has a mental break, so to speak, and she ends up going to this place called The Barn, and it is this school for kids who are much like her, and basically she gets put into this class called, I believe it's something about English, selected topics in English, and they get a copy of the bell jar, and they get a copy of this red leather journal, which you don't see here. It's there. It's in black and white, but it's there in the bell jar. And some other mementos from the book that you probably won't understand until you read the book. But basically, they are to write in the journal at least a couple times a week, something like that, once or twice a week, and to find out that there's a little bit of magical realism. And oh, I'm not going to spoil anything, but let's just say it helps them kind of get through what they've kind of pushed aside in their life, and it's good. It's good. Oh my gosh. I'm just loving contemporaries lately. I just really have. And this one is wonderful and beautiful and awesome. And I was sent this by Penguin, another part of Penguin, but still, and they sent me that nice little journal. I think you saw it at one point. But after I read this book, I was like, oh my gosh, I can't believe I wrote in that journal, and nothing crazy happened, but it's good. It's good. I also had the audiobook. I don't know how I get all this stuff, but I got sent an audiobook for it too, which was pretty decent. The British accent was absolutely terrible, but the rest of it was really good. So yes, I would definitely recommend listening or reading, because both are pretty dang good / hilarious, because there's some good stuff and there's, you know, with books like this that are a little bit darker, you need kind of like that balance, right? It's good. It's good. Okay. And last but not least, we have The Dream Thieves by Maggie Stiefvater, and I have been holding on to this for the right time, because I feel like her books, you have to read them at the right time, or they just, you know, you have books like that in your life, right? And so this one is fantastic. It focuses more on Ronan, and it also focuses on some of the other characters, but I liked the fact that we got to know Ronan a little bit better, and got to see his mom, who is Sleeping Beauty. Her name is Aurora. You find out more about that, but I was just like freaking out, because I was like, his mom's name is Aurora, and she's asleep, and oh my gosh, I have problems, and it involves all this, because if you read Maggie Stiefvater, just your brain does stuff. So yeah, let me know what you're reading lately, and I hope you guys have a great day and keep reading.